as long this boy, he will do misfortune to his parents, and then Allah inspire Al-Khadr to kill the boy. Why only that boy? I mean, how many boys in this earth, they are not good to their parents? What is this? And isn't it you Muslim, you say that Allah will punish you for committing a crime? The guy did not commit a crime yet. And he is a Muslim. You punish the boy, and he is just a little boy who did nothing wrong for a crime he will do in the future. That means all of us, we should be killed, because all of us, we do something wrong, either with the parents, to our neighbors, to our, you know, I mean, everybody do wrong. There's no human being that not do something wrong. Here you see that the story is just a stupid story from a fool. He copied from legends before Muhammad. If you go and search the story of Gilgamesh, you will see that there is a king or a leader, whatever he is. He searched for the, you know, the secret of life. He want to live forever. So he keep going, he go and he meet a guy, his name is Al-Khadr. Al-Khadr means Mr. Green. And why they call him Mr. Green? Because simply he drank from the fountain of youth. So when he sit even in the ground, even if the grass is dead, the grass will become green. So they call him Mr. Green. You do not need to be a genius that Muhammad is a fraud. Adopting fairy tale stories exist before him. And this is actually conquer Islam, because the reason for killing cannot be accepted for a second. First of all, you hurt the family, because now they don't know why you killed a person. Secondly, if those family are Muslim, Al-Khadr should be killed now, because he killed a Muslim for no reason, which means Al-Khadr himself should be under the rule of Allah and Islam, should be killed for killing a child. Number 3, assuming that the person, he received inspiration from Allah to kill the boy, what the accomplishment? What happened exactly? At least if the boy, he did something wrong and you killed him, his family will not be the same sad as you kill him now, because he was a bad person. You cause sadness for this family forever. So you wanted to save them from what exactly? From having a bad child? And here we notice again that Muhammad is a fraud. Why? When a child, he died, and he was an infant. Infant, I mean, how small he is, infant. He went to a funeral with his wife, Ayusha. She was cute and young, very young. She is a kid, but she is smarter than the fool Muhammad. So Aisha, she said, well, you know what, there is a happiness, you know, for this child. Okay, why is a happiness? Because he will go to heaven, for he commit no sin and never even reached the age of sin. Muhammad, he said to Aisha, stop being stupid. Allah created people of hell when they are in the backbone of their father. Remember, Muhammad, he believed, according to his Quran, that the sperm of the man is coming from the backbone. And this is proven to be accurate according to science. You know, there's a guy, he lost his spine, you know, they took it off. He was having orgasm in the refrigerator. Like they took his spine off, I mean, after he died, and they put it in the refrigerator, you know, and he was having, the sperm was coming all over, like, you know, all over the place. They opened the refrigerator the second day, the refrigerator was, you know, covered by sperm. Yeah, because it was true sperm. This guy was very horny. I mean, before he died. True story. And a Muslim here, they, you know, they lie when they say from their father loins. You know, it says backbone. Aslabi abayhim. So, Allah Messenger, she said to him, Aisha, there is a happiness for this child who is a bird from the birds of paradise. Okay, why? Why? For it commit no sin, nor he had reached the age when one can commit sin. He said, Aisha, prayer adventure, it may be otherwise, because Allah created for paradise those who are fit for it, while He created what they were created and yet in their father backbone, and He created for hell who is going to go to hell when they are in their father backbone. Which mean, this is what the Muslim call al-qadar, destiny. Which mean, if a child, he will go to heaven, it's already destined for him if he will go to hell or to heaven. It doesn't matter if he commits sin or not. Based on this, the child which Muhammad story says in chapter 18, verse number 74, Al-Khadr, he killed him. He was destined to go to a place and he to do whatever he will do, bad or good, because Muslims believe in destiny. So why you want to kill him if this is the destiny of Allah? Actually, this is the same foolish man, you know, Mufti Menk. In different video, let me try to find the video. He was speaking about destiny. Let us see if we can find it. Mufti. All right. I guess we are able to find it. Give me a second. Okay. This is Al-Khadr, sorry, this is Mufti Menk, the same person, just to show you how those people, they have madness, mental, I'm talking about those who claim to be sheikh. When they try to convince you, they forgot what they say. They remind me of Sadhguru, the guy from the Hindu, from India. He say something 2 minutes after he said the opposite, because he assumed that everybody is watching him, is a low IQ, and he is the only smart there. So this is Mufti Menk. Explain to us the destiny. Go.
And they say, well, if Allah's written all of this, then why did He bring me onto the earth? Well, hang on, you don't know your results of your examination, so you have to come onto earth. The fact that Allah knows it and the fact that Allah has written it does not make you a person who should now give up, because if that was the case, then obviously you would be the fool. A man came at the time of Umar ibn Khattab.
Listen carefully, how he contradicted himself in the start, and now he's giving us example, totally the opposite. Because it's not about the knowing of Allah, it's about Allah writing your destiny. It's a decision He made, what you will do. Listen.
According to one of the narrations, he needed to be punished because he stole. So he comes to Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anhu and he uses the same line. He says, "Oh Umar, oh Amirul Mu'mineen, how can you punish me for having stolen when it was predestined? My deeds were already written by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala." Now that's quite a good argument if you were to look at it. Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anhu was one ahead of this man. He says, well, let's punish this man because it was predestined that we were going to punish him as well.
See?
Wow. So these deeds, so it goes to show that you cannot use as an excuse the fact that Allah has predestined things.
Do you see? Do you see the stupidity? So if it was a predestiny for the guy to be a thief, predestiny for the guy to kill the thief, predestiny for the child to be not good to his parents, Why Allah is killing the child? Can you find more stupid cult than this? It's a predestiny. How you punish somebody for a crime he did because you forced him to do it. You see, while we are laughing at Muhammad and his religion, Muslims are busy. Show me where Jesus says, I'm God, worship me. Here we go. This is the Bible, show me. And then you show him 1,000 verse. He will say, this is not saying that. This is religion. This is God. This is stupidity. I mean, you know, at least if you want to make a religion, at least bring me somebody. You have a little brain, a brain of a sparrow. Well, don't mention the word sparrow because there's a funny story about it. Maybe sometime, other time later, I will tell you about. You know, the bad thing about me, I cannot say a word without finding a story about Muhammad. You will laugh about it, and that sometimes is a pain. You know, because like, come on, this is too much. This is what happened to you when you have too much information and too much knowledge about this garbage. So the guy, he is a thief. He said to the caliphate, why you want to punish me if it was a predestiny for me to be a thief, brother? The caliphate, he was ahead of him. You see, it's like a game. This is religion. The caliphate was ahead of him, which means he's smarter and he's tricky. He said, okay, well, was a destiny for you to be a thief, but it was destiny for me to kill you. What the heck? So now you go, you shoot somebody, and the police, they arrest you, and they will say to them, it was a destiny for me to shoot this guy. And then the police guy, he says to you, it was destiny for me to arrest you. And then the judge, he will say, it was destiny for me to judge you. And then the guy in the jail, he will take you to jail, he will say, destiny for me to jail you. And then they take you to the execution, and he will say, that it was a judgment for me that you do the killing, and I will execute you. And then the guy who will put you in the grave, he will say, destiny for me to put you in the grave. And then after that, because in Islamic country, this is what they do after they bury you. If you are a female, they will rape you. If you are a male, they will rob you. So it was destiny for me to rape you after death. That's so good, man. That's so beautiful. By the way, in case you do not know, in Islamic countries, if the dead person is a young female, the family usually they send somebody to sleep next to the grave for the first 2 nights, you know, until her body decayed, because it happened many times in Morocco, in Egypt. They will go and rape the dead women. Can you believe it? You can search it on YouTube. Search it in Prophet Google. Yesterday, they arrested a guy. He is from Morocco. He raped, I think, I don't know, I forgot the number, 60-something women, 35 women, I forgot the number. And most of them, they are 60 or 70 years old. And he beat them up. Not only he raped them. They go to do sport in the park, you know, and he raped them. Very nice religion. Like Muhammad. So here you see, they try to, the purpose of this video is to show you how amazing is Allah. But what is amazing about this? I can kill a child now, and I claim that Allah, He inspired me to kill him. This is very dangerous. Secondly, when the Muslim, they say to you, okay, Jesus, He died in the cross for your sin. But how in the world Islam says that a person who is innocent shall not pay the price of sin he did not commit? First of all, Jesus is not being killed because, let us say, he is going against justice. Jesus, He did not ask the Jews even to arrest Him. Jesus, He did not go to the Romans and says, hey, crucify me, I want to die so the Christian will be saved. But what Jesus did is to show us how much He loved for us. And those who believe in Jesus, not only in the cross, they will be redeemed. Because all of us, we are sinners, no exception. So the Muslim always, they try to spoil the belief of Christianity. They always try to damage Christianity by adding their own fictions and lies. But you notice that all the lies they put on us, it is in their book. When yesterday somebody posted a link, or I think yesterday, in the previous video, showing the three Muslims discussing about Allah giving license to be a pimp. I make a video, and I made many videos about this. The Muslims say, it doesn't say that, CP, lie number whatever. When they talk to each other alone, they agree. Allah gave license for you to be a pimp. Go watch the video. I don't know if the admins didn't know the video, they can post it. You got my permission. This is Islam. Why a child, he will go to hell if he never commits sin yet? You see, Jesus have the opposite teaching of the stupid Muhammad. Jesus, he said, if you cannot become like those little ones, you know, you will not enter the kingdom of my Father, which means the little ones, for sure they are going to heaven. The reason for us not to go to heaven is us committing sin. Muhammad don't agree. Muhammad, he believed in destiny, that because of the destiny, which Allah he destined for you before your creation, you go either to hell or to heaven. And that is a proof that all the belief thing is a joke. Why? Because, what the point? If I believe or not, if I was good or bad, if I was a rapist or a gambler, if I was a drunk or not, what is the point? It's the same. At the end of the day, it is destiny. Here there's other hadith from Sahih al-Bukhari showing you the following story. I'm not going to mention how smart Muhammad is, you know, when he said that you will be in your mother womb for 40 days in the form of a sperm, semen. Yeah, you know, this is true. I mean, Muhammad, he knew. Dr. Muhammad, sorry, I should not say Muhammad. I mean, either you say Prophet Muhammad or Dr. Muhammad, or they will kill you. Very peaceful reason. So when Muhammad he said, and look, the pro-Muslim, they say, he's not his name only Muhammad, he is the truthful, the receiver of the truth. Muhammad is a receiver of the truth. Okay, what is the truth? The messenger of Allah, truthful and receiver of the truth, informed us, saying, the creation of you humans gathered in the form of semen in the womb of your mother for 40 days. Yes, brother. Me, myself, I will tell you my experience. I spent 40 days in my mother belly as a semen. I remember the first day as a semen, I said to myself, let me explore the body, you know, so I was going from place to place. I took selfie. At that time, there was no phone. That's why I cannot post them, you know. But I took selfie using like my DNA, you know, like, you know, ting, like, you know. And brother, you are for 40 days inside your mother as a semen. True. This is science, scientifically accurate. Now, if Google said to you that semen can live maximum 5 days, Google is lying and the Prophet is telling the truth. Okay. Then it become a cling of things similar, like in the previous hadith it says, congeal the blood. Here it's a cling thing. It depends on the translator, you know, the liar. Then it become a lump. Anyway, that's not ever important for now. And then, brother, angel will come and he is going to write for this person his destiny. So look what it will say. By the one beside whom there is no true God, verily one of you would perform the action of the dwellers of Jannah. Jannah, it's not an Arabic word. Muhammad stole it again. He put it in the Quran, which means it's an hiding it can work as a let us say garden, but it's a hiding garden or hidden. This is why the Muslim, they call the genie, because supposedly he is hidden, you cannot see him. This is why in Arabic we call the baby in his mother womb janeen, which means he is hidden too. He's there, but he is hidden. All of this is not Arabic. So the one of you, he is doing the action of people of what? Of Jannah, which means he will go to heaven. His action will lead him to heaven. But then, until there is only one cubit between him and the heaven, when the foreordained, I'm saying the word correctly, foreordained, because my English is very funny, like Muhammad Arabic. This guy remind me of the, remember the guy who called me, he says, come on ZP, you know that my Arabic and your Arabic is not good. Like, what the heck? When what is foreordained, I think, would come to pass. So the poor guy is working hard to go to Jannah. He is killing Christian, raping their women, chasing the Jews, shouting Allahu Akbar, Takbir, kill them. And he spent all his life cleaning his bowls, jumping in water, have dead dogs and women blood from period, as the Prophet, following the Sunnah, cleaning his ass with the 3 rocks, as the Prophet, he said. He even buy fleas from Amazon. Did you see the news about in Emirat they are selling fleas because the Prophet, he used to have a fleas in his head? And they're expensive, by the way. Yeah, because we have to follow this, and now not only that, in the article they say it turned to be scientifically healthy. Like, what the heck? Having fleas, you can search it in Google. I'm not making things up. Buying fleas in I don't know if you can find it in English, but I can find it in Arabic. Let me see. You'll find it in Kuwait, in Emirat. I mean, okay, I just found one news. One is enough. Kuwait, lice, they increase the length of the hair. What is the price of one lice? I'm going to open a store in Amazon and I'm going to sell lice for the Abdul. How does one lice cost? The other article I saw, they are saying that the Prophet, this is why the Prophet, he used to have lice. Unbelievable. True story, brother. I would love to see the Prince of Emirat and the Prince of Kuwait have a lot of lice when they come to visit us in America, and we will be so happy to welcome them, Okay, so now you have a few foot, 1 arm distance between you and heaven, and now you want to enter heaven almost, but then what Allah, he destined for you will take over, and you do the action of people, inmate of hell, look at this, inmate of hell, and he enter it. So what the point of believing or not believing in Islam? It's a stupid religion. Everything in this religion is stupid. You believe, you don't believe, you do bad, you do good, it doesn't matter. It is what Allah, he wrote for you, will decide if you are going to go to heaven or to hell. If there is any Abdul here want to refute my lies between 2 brackets, any Muslim? Anyone? So what we learn today, a child will be killed for a crime he did not commit yet. And not only that, actually, when the Khadr, he killed him, if you see how he killed him, you will see how Islam justifies things, in a very weird way. Let us go to verse number 74. This is very extremely stupid cult. This is Tafsir al-Jalalain. It says here, so they said after leaving the ship, the story of the ship alone is a different story. It's more laughable. Making their way in foot until they meet a boy who had not yet reached the puberty, playing with other boys, among whom his face was fairest. And then Al-Khudr, he slew him by slitting his throat with a knife, while he lay down by tearing his head off. Look at this, brother. The art of tearing head with his hands, or by smashing his head against the wall. Mr. Wasim saying, Prophet will be in paradise, martyrs will be in paradise, babies will be in paradise. Well, if this is what your prophet said, this is your prophet said too. This is again proving that Muhammad is a fraud, because if you cannot maintain what you say, you are obviously a fraud. So why he opposed Aisha when she said he will go to heaven, if he will go to heaven anyway? So your argument is to be used against your prophet, because a child, according to Muhammad, he will not go to paradise unless he predestined to go to paradise. And you see, we are giving reference, we are not making a statement. Aisha, she assumed that this boy who is an infant, and he is a son of a Muslim family, that's why Muhammad, he prayed on him. As you know, you cannot pray in someone unless he's a Muslim. However, Muhammad, he did that, pray in people who are not Muslim, because he was a hypocrite at that time. He was weak. So Aisha, she said, he will go to heaven. Muhammad, he said, no, not necessarily. For Allah, he destined where he will go before he created him. So your argument is not going to help. Secondly, if we go back to the story of this boy, he will do mischievement to his parents. But as you know, in Islam, if you do that, you will go to heaven still. Why you want to kill the boy? The only reason in Islam to go to hell, like, the Muslim, they say, according to Islam, like, you go to hell, but you will not stay long. Like, let us say, this is why the Muslim, they took from the Aramaic an idea that there is a sirat. Sirat is an Aramaic word, which is a bridge. And that bridge have holes in it. So if you are a believer, the bridge will have little tiny holes in it, so your feet will not fall down in the fire. The more you are a person who commits, let us say, sin, the more your feet will drop down from the bridge. Some even will go all the way to their shoulders, and they will be burned. So the Quran says in different verse, وَمَا مِنْكُمُ إِلَّا وَارِدُهَا, not a single one of you, but he will enter it. Enter what? Enter hell. And it is a destiny too. Even that is a destiny. وَمَا مِنْكُمُ إِلَّا وَارِدُهَا. Let's put the verse here, hold on. So the Quran is so clear that every single Muslim, he will enter hell, but depend how bad they are, supposed he will stay in hell. But as you see, all of this doesn't make sense, because Muhammad, he said it clearly, it's a destiny. It has nothing to do with the sin you do, which means even the sin you do, it is sin destiny for you, which means this is the sin of Allah. If you read Muslim translation of chapter 19, verse number 71, it says, There's not one of you but will pass over it. But the fact this is not true. If we go right now and check, we will see not a single one of you, but he will enter it. Let's go. 1971. Do you see it? There's not one of you but shall come to it, but shall enter hell. So Islam promised you hell for sure. That is granted. So put all together. Allah He destiny for you to commit sin. As an example, one of the favorite sin of Allah topic is fornication. Why people do fornication? Muhammad explained. It was a destiny. And this is Sahih Muslim. Verily Allah has fixed the very portion of adultery which a man will indulge in, and which he of necessity must commit. There's no choice to commit or not to commit. So why you want to punish him for adultery if it is you who force him to do adultery? So let us say there's a man, he slept with 10 women and they are not lawful for him. And there's other man, he slept with 3 women and they are not lawful for him. Both of them, they did not choose how many women they will sleep with. It was a predestiny. So how in the world this religion can be called a religion? Do you see how stupid this cult is? And if a child he is yet born, an infant, he might go to hell because it's predestiny. Ibn Kathir, he says bath over it. You know, okay, hold on. Wasim, hold on. Guys, Ibn Kathir, he said, Mr. Wasim here, he said, he's a Muslim, I guess. They are Muslims, they enter the bathroom. The second they enter bathroom, they don't want to follow the steps of the Prophet. Ibn Kathir said, it says, pass over it. It is talking about Sirat bridge. The word enter is dukhul. Look at this genius, he is teaching me Arabic. They want to enter? No, Abdul. First, the Arabic, it says, wariduha, warada shay ay atah, which means come to it and drink from it. This is why warad al-ma, he drank from it. The one who warad water, he is drinking from the water. You are just an ignorant like your Prophet. Secondly, let us go to Ibn Kathir so we can laugh together. Shall we? Let us go. Hey Ibn Kathir, how are you? We need you so we can laugh more. This is Ibn Kathir. And this is, and now you will say I don't accept Ibn Kathir.